Hello, welcome to Bryan Living and Learning. I'm Alan Brugman from the City of Bryan.
And I'm Sandy Ferris with Bryan ISD.
Today we'll tell you about an upcoming event that the City of Bryan is helping to sponsor that's getting kids geared up for the start of school. And we'll show you some of the latest improvements in downtown Bryan.
And we spent some time getting to know new Superintendent Dr. Tommy Wallace. But first, Bryan ISD employees were out in full force as they helped with the Junior League Stuff the Bus supply drive.
This is the 11th year of the Stuff the Bus project, which is the signature event of the Junior League of Bryan College Station. But this is our second year to actually hold the community-wide school supply drive. We started at 5:30 this morning. We'll go to 7:30 this evening. But a little bit about the Stuff the Bus, we do purchase in bulk, bulk items for the campuses, but those supplies will only last so long in the classroom. At some point during the school year, we're going to need more supplies. And also we're basing our numbers on last year's free and reduced numbers in the campuses. Those numbers go up, and so to compensate for that growth and for the need for supplies throughout the year, we have the supply drive. And so any kind of donations that are received today, whether it be school supplies or monetary, will all go to help further provide supplies throughout the school year for these kids. We are very fortunate. Both school districts are, they've been a very great asset and very much involved with the supply drive. And so our warehouse guys from both Bryan ISD and College Station ISD will show up, and we've sorted all the supplies. They will take it back to the campuses and or to the districts, and it'll be distributed equally amongst the campuses that need those extra supplies. You can go to www.jlbcs.org. That's our Junior League website, and from there there's a central email that you can make inquiries to, and it'll be disseminated out to the appropriate person. This year, since it being the second year, we're getting a little bit more activity. KBTX has been wonderful as far as doing PR. HEB has been wonderful as far as providing supplies and doing tear pads, and they're actually having their own collection point up at Tower Point as well. So anyone can come out and help. We'd love to have you. And if you want to get involved in the future, it's only going to get bigger.
Well, Sandy, that story leads in perfectly to our next story. The concerned black men of the Brazos Valley are holding a big back-to-school party August 20th at Veterans Park. Here's a PSA we created for the event.
Hi, I'm Douglas Boone Jr. from Workforce Solutions and the professor of the old school from KEOS Radio. Now, speaking of old school, my good friends with the Concerned Black Men of Brazos Valley will once again hold this 8th annual back-to-school party on Saturday, August 20th from 9 a.m. until 12 noon. This year, there is one big difference. It will be held here at the beautiful Veterans Park in College Station. As always, everything is free, including hot dogs, drinks, school supplies for students, and plenty of helpful information for the parents, friends, and family. Now, if you want to know more about the back-to-school party, call these numbers: 979-696-2581 or 979-255-3489. So mark your calendars for Saturday, August 20th, beginning at 9 a.m. until 12 noon for the best back-to-school party presented by the Concerned Black Men of Brazos Valley, here at Veterans Park in College Station. We'll see you there.
Hello, I'm Tommy Wallace, new Superintendent at Bryan Independent School District. We hope to see you there.
My name is Eddie Colson, Superintendent of the College Station School District. I'll see you there, too.
So, Alan, that event is August 20th.
That's right, and since we run every episode of Bryan Living and Learning for 2 weeks, make sure you check your calendars, because if it's after August 20th, you miss that event.
Well, Dr. Tommy Wallace has been on the job as superintendent in Bryan for almost 2 months now. I sat down recently with him to talk about a variety of topics, including how he got into education in the first place. Tell me when you first decided to become a teacher.
I believe it was in about 7th grade. I had some teachers and coaches that were very influential in my life, and I thought long and hard about going into that profession. But like any young student, I wanted to be a pro athlete and go into the pro ranks of something, and knew that wasn't going to happen, and so I wanted to go into the business world. Took my first class at Texas Tech University in business with a group of about 500 people, and learned that I didn't want to wear a suit every day and a tie every day and sit in an office every day. And so I decided I wanted to go into teaching and coaching. And so I would say the first part was probably in about 7th grade, and then the other part of that was my freshman year in college.
So what was your first teaching assignment?
I was a teacher of Texas education, Texas history, excuse me, and then also coached 7th grade football, basketball, and track. in La Mesa, Texas.
So you started off with middle school age
I did.
students.
Went from La Mesa at middle school to Mesquite schools, and I guess in 1994 as a Texas history teacher again in the middle schools, and then eventually graduated up to high school AP history and varsity football, basketball, and baseball. So oddly enough, I also helped with theater arts a little bit. So it was kind of strange to see a football coach in with the theater arts as well. So I did a little bit of both.
Okay. You've been in a number of different districts and different sizes. Bryan ISD is your largest district to date. Tell me what you think some of the strengths of the district are.
I think that we have several programs that are second to no one in the state of Texas. I think you have the collegiate school where students can receive 64 college credit hours. For those students, their first generational college. I think that you have a great program at Bryan High School, the International Baccalaureate program, where students are really challenged, but you have the pre-IB at Long at that Inquiry program. That's a great program that we have that offers a lot of opportunities for our students and challenges them at the middle school level. We also have the Odyssey program at or SFA that has the math and science. And then you have Hammond Oliver, which is a campus for those interested in the human sciences and going to the medical field. So I feel like that we have several programs in this district that are phenomenal for students. I do believe that if a student is not involved in our district at Bryan, they can't be involved anywhere. You have issues or programs like ROTC that help our students learn about the military background and military career. So Bryan has a lot to offer. We should be proud.
Let's go back to that idea of involvement. Talk about the correlation between involvement and a student's success in school.
Students involved will be in their career, their elementary school, middle school, high school, they're going to be much more successful. If students aren't involved in something, then they're not going to have buy-in to that campus and buy-in to the school, buy-in to the program. They won't be as successful. Research has shown that students involved in their schools are more successful than those who aren't. So we want our students to be involved in Bryan schools, and that's going to be a selling point that we're going to do in a recruiting marketing campaign in our district of students being involved. We don't care what you're involved in, be involved in something. Be a part of your high school career, be a part of your middle school, and be a part of your elementary school. Be a part of those, whether it's robotics, whether it's band, whether it's choir, whether it's auto shop, ag, it doesn't matter. Please be involved in something in our district because you'll be much more successful and you'll enjoy your career in Bryan much more.
Over the next few years, what would you like to see Bryan ISD achieve?
To become nationally known. I think that having Texas A&M in our backyard in Blinn, I think that those two higher institutions of learning are second to no one, and I think that we have programs in our district that partnered with those two higher educational entities. We should be nationally known soon. We are, as a district, what Texas looks like. We are a third black, a third Hispanic, a third white. We are economically disadvantaged in many areas, but so I think we are Texas. I think we are the United States, and I think we should be the flagship for not just Texas, but I think we ought to be a flagship for the country. I think we have the programs, the people, the personnel, and the passion now to be nationally known. So I think that's what I'd like to see over the next few years, us being nationally known.
Well, Dr. Wallace, you've been in the community a couple of months. You've met a lot of people. For those who haven't met you yet, what do you want people to know about Tommy Wallace?
Tommy Wallace is about kids. Tommy Wallace is about his family. Tommy Wallace is about his faith. So those things coupled together with the team concept that I believe in, I think that people will see that Bryan will be nationally known soon. I think that they'll see Tommy Wallace as a person of passion, a person of competitiveness, and wants to be the best at anything that he does. And so I hold people accountable. I hold myself very accountable, and I feel like that people will see that I'm very involved in our community. I'll be involved in our civic organizations. I'll be involved in our youth organizations. I have two children that both play sports and do activities, so I'll be a part of that. So I think they'll see that Tommy Wallace is involved in the community.
Well, Sandy, I know Dr. Wallace has been very busy all summer making the rounds and meeting folks, but I bet he's glad for the school year to start.
He is, and he's made the promise that he's going to be on campuses frequently and visiting classrooms.
The city of Bryan is very close to completing several big projects in the downtown Bryan area. Here's the latest on those.
I'm sure folks have probably seen the construction that's been going on in downtown Bryan, just north of Martin Luther King. Over the recent weeks, we've been constructing a 5 million gallon ground storage tank. It'll store our water that we pumped out to the rest of the city. It's adjacent to an existing 5 million gallon tank. It's a little different in that it's got a aesthetic feature to it, in the sense that the outside of it will have some paint and different features, architectural features to it that'll make it blend in a little more with what is going on in our downtown area. That project's nearing completion from the look of it from the outside, but it will be put into service much later, probably early into next year, just because of water demands and things being able to tie in right now. But that construction's starting to look pretty good. You can kind of get a feel of what that architectural features will look like on the project. We've also got a couple other projects in our downtown area that are wrapping up construction. We've got downtown phase 3 that is in a punch list stage, where we're just finishing up final items that the contractor has left to do. So the work is substantially complete. The main focus of phase 3 was reconstructing the entire roadway, building some alleys, and putting in all the utilities in that area. Continued the same streetscape theme with landscaping and brick pavers and things you've seen in the rest of the downtown area, as well as on our Bryan Beck project that continued some of the downtown streetscaping efforts along Bryan Avenue down to the Beck Street intersection, and reconstructed the roadways in that area. Both of those projects are nearing the point where we could actually have a ribbon cutting, but we've decided with the hot weather we're going to wait till it's a little cooler in the fall, so be on the lookout for that when the weather turns around later this fall.
Well, Sandy, earlier in the episode we mentioned about an event, the Back to School Party, that's happening on August 20th. There's another event that evening.
That's right. On August 20th at Briarcrest Country Club, the Bryan ISD Hall of Honor will be held. We'll be recognizing 8 distinguished graduates of Bryan schools that evening. And for tickets, you can call 209-1057.
That's all we have for you on this episode of Bryan Living and Learning. I'm Alan Brugman.
And I'm Sandy Ferris. Thanks for watching.